Hey y'all, Northern Lawns here. Just want to give you guys a quick tour of my yard and also the equipment that I'll be using. Just to let you know, my grass type is a mix. I'm in southern Canada, so cool season lawn, mix of cool season grasses. I'm not 100% sure what grass types they are currently, but I'm in the process of figuring that out. I just moved into this house fairly recently, but yeah, I just wanted to show you the equipment that I have it all laid out here on the table. What you'll see is I'm using this specific Scott's Turf 14-inch reel mower. It's 5 blades. I made a modification to the roller. Usually this is just a multi-wheel, but I was able to find online this specific roller. It adds weight to it, but also helps for striping if you're into that. This is just a manual push reel mower. I did purchase this Yardworks reel mower sharpening kit recently to do a process called backlapping, and what that allows you to do is you spin the reel backwards by removing this wheel. It comes with a crank. You put some compound on here that's gritty. You roll it backwards and it actually sharpens these blades and the bed knife, meaning you get that sharp, consistent cut. I would recommend doing that once, maybe twice a season, depending, but it's always good at the very beginning of the season to sharpen your blades if you can. You can also take it to a hardware store or whatnot and they can do that for you as well. It's pretty easy though. Literally, the wheel comes off by removing this clip here, and then you just spin the reel backwards for about 10 minutes. It sharpens the blade really well. I also have this Roybe electric blower. Again, this is just a standard blower. Comes with a specific battery, 1.5 amp. I went with the larger one just because I find that this smaller one runs out maybe after about 30 minutes of use, and my yard's a little larger, so I definitely use the blower more than 30 minutes usually, so I don't like to have to stop and then charge again. So I got this 4 amp hour, and it works a lot better. I can get an entire session done with one battery, which I love. But then I have this one as a backup. I just personally like to use this manual edger. Again, this is something you just walk along your edge, use your feet and push it in. I have a manual rake here. I do have an electric edger as well. It's just a string trimmer, but as you can see, it has the wheels for the edge attachment. Again, this is all fairly cheap equipment that you can get at any hardware store, any big box hardware store near you. Nothing super expensive here. I'm just using what works for me. But again, any brand that's in this type of price range should work for you. I would say the Roybe was probably around maybe $60–75 Canadian. Same with the reel mower, same with the edger, maybe a little less. These tools here, manual tools, are gonna range between $25 and $40. So you're not breaking the bank with this equipment, and it works fairly well. What I also did was I just went and got some mulch to help, you know, with the garden beds and things around my property. I started with just 4 bags. I have quite a few different garden beds, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But I just pick up standard cedar mulch. I like natural. I don't like the artificial colorings or anything that comes with either the plastic mulch or the colored mulch. I'm just not a fan of that. I also picked up some potting soil. It's that time of year here in southern Canada where we're starting our seedlings and things of that nature. So I got that. I did get some little pots to start the seeds in as well. And then I also got some birds seed as well. Here birds are actually coming back for their annual migration. So the birds are starting to come back. They're really hungry right now. Just got some of that grass seed to make sure that they're nice and fed, and I get to see the beautiful birds in and around my new house. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you all up with a yard tour specifically. I'm gonna start here in the front yard first. Apologies for the road noise as well. We're on a busy road, but it's beautiful still. I just want to show you the front yard here. I'm going to show you some of the problem areas that I have as well, but my main focus is just getting the lay of the land for you, so y'all know what my yard looks like currently, what my hopes are to improve what I have, and kind of what the Canadian winter can do to a lawn that is usually in really good shape but needs a little TLC right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take you on a quick tour of the front yard. So we're starting here right at the front. What you'll see is I have my garden beds right at the front, along with some nice grass in the front. Again, it's a mix of cool season grasses. As we pan across, what you'll see is several problem areas, and I'll zoom in here as well so you can see. But the big issue I had is towards the end of my driveway, and this is specifically from all the salt that was on the road during the winter. The snowplows come by and knock it up onto the yard. There's nothing you can really do about that. And then the salt kind of kills the grass, but it comes back. As you can see, some of it's starting to come back. If you need to, you can overseed. But you'll also see I have a problem with squirrels and other small rodents digging, hiding nuts, etc. So this is basically some squirrel damage here that you'll see. Technically it doesn't necessarily really hurt the yard, but what you can do is you can just push the dirt back in. The grass isn't going to be alive any longer in that spot, but it's best to fill that hole in so that there's no specific damage left, and you get a nice flat consistent lawn to mow. So I just go ahead and kind of fill these areas in, but you'll see this every now and then, especially in the spring. Squirrels are kind of out there looking for food, hiding their nuts, all that kind of stuff, right? You also see all kinds of little winter debris here, sticks and things like that. Before you mow, go ahead and take that off your lawn, especially if you're using a reel mower. Technically you don't want to dull your blades with all of this. One other thing I want to show you is here. You can see this dirt here, these little clumps. Technically what this is worm castings. So especially after a heavy rain, you'll start to see little clumps that come to the surface that look like this. Technically this is just mud. The worms come to the surface to get oxygen when the soil is extremely moist. And for these, especially when it's wet, you don't want to step on it or try to push it back into your lawn, because it'll mat the grass and actually start to kill that area. What I found is if you get a comb or some type of pick or something like that, or even a credit card, you can actually just scoop it up, scoop the dirt up, and then you can collect it in a bucket or whatnot. And this is great for seedlings, things like that, or you can just toss it into a pot with a plant or something like that. But technically what you want to see left over is something similar to this, and then you can just brush the dirt in and you'll be completely fine, and that grass will just come right back. As we continue to move around, you can see I have a nice garden bed right here. I'm going to take you around the side of the house so you can see my side yard. Technically here I have my shed with all of my lawn equipment. It's just a normal shed here. And then as we move to the side here, you're going to notice some bare spots on the grass here in the front and things like that. Basically I'm probably going to overseed here just to get more grass to come back. Mainly because I don't know if my grass types currently have stolons or not, meaning that they actively continue to grow clones of themselves. I could just have clumping grass, which is what it looks like, which doesn't necessarily expand. You will see some stolons here though. This is a stolon here, right? But then this is like a clumping grass. So technically this grass does not reproduce. but this type of grass will, as long as it's alive. But I'll take you around the side here so we can see. What you'll notice here is a lot of bare spots, more worm castings, some clover coming up as well. Clover's not too bad for the lawn just because it introduces a lot of carbon, which is a good mineral for the lawn. But again, if you have too much clover, it can start to crowd out actual grass. This grass here gets a lot of traffic, which is why it's kind of matted and thin. To fix this issue, we would have to overseed. I'm just going to take you around the side here. This is another really nice garden bed here. I currently have some onions and things like that. I already have some sprouts coming up naturally. What we have here is carrots and beets, and those will come up. You can see those little seedlings there. They're doing okay. They're just really new, so it's going to take a little time for them to fully get to where they need to be. I have this area here too where I'm going to start planting some other things in the next few weeks or so. A lot of the stuff that I started inside, the seedlings, I'm going to transplant out here. And then as we come around, you'll notice we have some beautiful water out with a nice harbor. This is the backyard specifically, and what you'll see is some garden beds around the outside, along with a nice garden bed here, and then just more of a mix of cool season grasses. I need to do a lot of work back here specifically. My thought is remove a lot of this overburden. This is where I'm going to put a lot of the mulch. You can see a lot of the perennial plants are coming up though, which are going to be beautiful. I just need to mulch in these other areas that currently don't have anything growing. But my idea there is to add some new plants, add some plants that I've started inside, and things like that. Just to show you the grass back here, you can see it's fairly patchy, but it's in good condition, and there's a lot of grass that's actively growing. I do have a lot of clover coming up. Mowing the lawn actually really helps reduce the amount of clover you have in your yard. I like to keep clover in my yard specifically, but again, if you're not a fan of it, there are chemical products you can put down, basically weed killer, to get rid of clover. I'm not a fan of that specifically, but again, some people do that, some people don't. Because I'm in Canada as well, I don't necessarily use what's called pre-emergent. What a pre-emergent does is it basically kills any weeds or stops weeds from germinating. So basically what happens is when the soil temps get to around 55 Fahrenheit, those weed seeds that were in the grass will start to germinate, and then that's when you get all the weeds come up in the spring and even late fall as well. A pre-emergent is a chemical you put down that stops the seeds from germinating, and usually what most people have is what's called a post-emergent, which is any weed killer that you have that you actively spray on a weed that's already sprouted. You spray it on the leaves, a week or so passes, and then the weeds die. I'll just finish the tour here. You'll see around the side of the house we have a few more garden beds with a bunch of flowers coming up. In this garden bed here, I plan on planting a bunch of sunflowers and things like that, but you can see a lot of wildflowers are already starting to come up. And then as we come around towards the back here, you can see the beautiful view of the lake, along with beach access that we have. It's beautiful, but I do have a terraced area here as well that you can see. So there's a lot of different areas for plants and things like that, and currently a lot of these have just natural vegetation growing, with a lot of succulents as well, and cactus and things of that nature. So but to give you a great perspective of the lawn in the back, that's a great shot there. I know the light's not the best right now, but it's been a pleasure. I'm going to take you on my journey of rehabbing this lawn. I don't necessarily have a plan currently. I'm going to start by mowing and then fertilizing lightly because it is very early in the season. Interestingly enough, I was going to do a process called aeration, which is basically poking holes in the lawn so that you can get airflow and water deep into the ground, to the roots of the grass. But cicada season is happening this year, it seems, in this area. So I had a ton of adult cicadas come up, and they basically burrow in your lawn. It takes them quite a few years to reach adulthood. And then when the time is right, they actually dig themselves out. Very clean hole. It's basically free aeration, so they did that for me this year, which I'm super stoked on. But yeah, so it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna skip to more than likely mowing the lawn next, so you guys will see a preview of my equipment in action. But yeah, welcome along on my journey to rehab this lawn, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.